Greetings, everyone. Time for another live stream. Welcome to Behind the Rojo Rope with me, Paul. It is day 4 of a 5-day holiday for me. And it's been pretty relaxing so far. I, for the most part, stayed home. I did go to a park a couple days ago, went out to eat a few times. But for the most part, I'm just here in my studio. And there's a couple of reasons for that. Now, I live in Zhongshan, China, and everyone knows what's going on in many other cities here in the country. Um, I am not on a lockdown per se, like those in Shanghai and many other cities. Here in Zhongshan, there is no COVID. It's still zero. Occasionally, there'll be one or two that pop up, a couple times a month, I guess, and it'll be in a district. They'll lock down that district. It happened maybe 2 months ago was the last time we had it here. There was one case in a neighboring city and another case in a neighboring city, and they're dealing with it on their own. Of course, Guangzhou up the road has their own little issue that they're dealing with. Here in Zhongshan, it is zero still, and for the most part, for the everyday citizen, its life is normal. Now, during the May Day holiday, this is typically a time when many people travel, and I was looking forward to traveling, but I am unable to because I am a teacher. Now, I'll explain. If you're a teacher, you have to get approval to travel to anywhere outside the city, and I went through a process. You have to go through this approval process to get approval to travel. All the teachers have to do this throughout the city. Uh, and I started that process about 2 weeks ago, knowing I was going to have a long holiday, and I wanted to go to a neighboring city. Uh, wasn't for work or for any kind of charity work or anything. I just wanted to go and explore the city for a day or two, sit on a beach, enjoy the weather, and have a nice holiday. The neighboring city being about a 30-minute drive from here. So over the 2 weeks, I went through the approval process, and there are certain levels that you need to get for approval. And again, every city is different in China. This is just for our city here. And I got this message. It said, the good news is the application for leaving Zhongshan has been approved by the Director of Personnel Department, the Director of the Office for Prevention and Control of COVID-19, the Vice President of the college, and the Director of the Foreign Affairs Office. Okay, so we just need to get the final approval from the president of the college and the secretary of the party committee of the school. Most probably, they will approve this application. So that was about 2 days before the holiday I was scheduled to go. And then the day before, bad news, the application was rejected by the secretary of the party committee. So 2 weeks, layers of processes, layers of approvals, trying to get approval for me just to go across the river to a neighboring city. And I got 5 approvals and 1 denial, which means that I am still stuck in the city and I cannot leave. That's unfortunate. And I love my city, and I make the best of my time here. I've been sleeping a lot and relaxing, and watching a movie here and there. But you guys know me. You know I like to get out and travel a lot, and has not been allowed for me to do that. There were a couple of opportunities for me to film with Li Xiang in Guangzhou. That has been canceled, as well as Jili in Xi'an. That has been canceled. And I was also asked to participate in a charity event as part of the Asian Games that are being held in Hangzhou. But this particular charity event would be in Sichuan province. And it would have been a great thing for me to do. But unfortunately, that was denied as well. So I am stuck in my city here. And I'll be honest with you, I don't like it. I really don't. I understand why it is. I'm not arguing those facts. But on a personal level, I mean, it's frustrating, and been dealing with it for off and on for the last few years, and it it builds up in your system. I watched the Dodger game, and watching a game with like 50,000 people high fiving each other, having a great time. I'm enjoying watching the game, and then I hear about my friends dealing with certain things in Shanghai, and there's just two just don't commute together. They don't compute. Uh, Now, for me, I have 3 weeks left in my term, including this week. As far as my teaching goes, I mean, there's a few more weeks more than that in the term where I'll be doing some paperwork and finishing it off. But over the next 3 weeks, my workload, surprisingly, the way it worked out, I'm going to be less and less busy at the college. So I'm quite happy with that. This coming week, I have a couple of workshops that I'm excited to be doing. And then towards the end of May, that's it for me as far as teaching goes. And I'll be supposedly free to travel for the summer, giving the various restrictions and issues in the various places within China that I want to travel to. For the most part, I want to stay local here in Guangdong. There's a couple of cities, especially in the west of the province, that I want to go check out. But traveling in China right now has gotten very difficult. There are pathways to do it if you're not a teacher. Obviously, when the term ends for me, I'll be free to travel. At least that's my my impression of what will happen this summer. And I hope to. There is one trip that I hope to be taking to Chongqing for the Chongqing Auto Show, which, as far as I know, is still has not been postponed like they did the Beijing. The Beijing Auto Show has been postponed indefinitely. We don't know when it will happen. In 2020, it was postponed into the fall. I'm assuming that will happen again this time, depending on what happens with the COVID situation here. So, yeah. Now, when I go to Chongqing, I'm only going to go for a couple of days. They are rolling out what seems to be going to be the norm in at least tier one cities and probably in more and more cities throughout the summer, which is regular testing. I mean, as a teacher, I'm tested all the time, and that's become a fact of my life here. They bring some testing people onto the campus. They test all the teachers. They test all the students. It's a very common thing, and um, that's what it's part of our life here, really. But now it looks like the testing will be a common thing where you'll need at least a test once per week to go to public places on public transportation. This isn't an official thing yet, but it looks like they are moving towards that. We've been seeing what look to be permanent testing sites, not temporary, camping shelters with, folding tables. These look to be permanent testing sites being set up, not just in my city, but many cities around the country. So there are two things that will happen with that. The first one is you'll have some kind of uniformity with the testing. It'll be more convenient to get it done because when you go to another city, you don't know where to get the test. There's different apps and different paperwork to fill out, and that can be a little confusing. You can get through it after a couple of minutes. You can figure it out, but it is a little annoying, I guess. But having a little uniformity out there, having okay, your test every 7 days, you can take a trip, and as long as it's to not a city that requires 48 or 72 hours, it's really hopefully being tested every week. Yeah, it's going to be inconvenient, but at the same time, if we are going to be required to be tested on a regular basis, having some kind of uniformity that goes to all the cities and all the provinces will make that process easier. It's very fluid. The rules change. Rules change often from city to province. And I know that here in my city of Zhongshan, many people just stayed in the city. They did not go anywhere. They might have gone to a neighboring city. By the way, all the other teachers that applied for travel got approved, and I did not. I got minus one person did not approve me. Darn it. That's okay. 3 more weeks left. 3 more weeks left. Uh, are you going to? Are you going to leave China? No, I'm not. Uh, it is true that a lot of the expats that I know and talk to are planning on leaving, and not just in Shanghai or the tier one cities, Guangzhou, Shenzhen. I know a lot of people in these cities that have been talking on WeChat and WeChat groups. Many are planning on leaving. Here in my city as well, um, a lot of people are planning on leaving this summer. There's going to be a big exodus of expats for various reasons. I can't just point to the zero COVID, policy as the one true thing. Sometimes it's just, people want to move on with their lives. And I won't lie, I even have considered the idea of leaving China. I've been here for 6.5 years now, and I've been considering moving on to another city, or excuse me, another country, even going back home to America. But at the end of the day, I've come back to the idea that this is still kind of an adventure for me. Yes, I live my life here, of course, but every day is an eye-opening adventure. Even some of the frustrating things that might happen to me, uh, they are an adventure, and I'm having a time of my life. So even though I'm stuck in this city right now, and I can't move, and I'm frustrated by that, I can't deny that I'm still living an adventurous lifestyle here in China. I mean, just walk down the street, and there's something interesting to see and do and learn about. So I'm staying because it's fun. The people are friendly. I mean, the food is great. Um, I'm quite happy here in China, to be honest with you. I really am. There are times that are frustrated, but overall, I'm not ready to uh, end my adventure. Billy's on. Hello, Billy. Thanks for joining me, brother. Hey, I'll give you this news here. Not everybody knows this. I'll announce it here. I have been offered and accepted a new position and a new school that I'll be starting at in the fall. So I've been at my current school, Billy, you know this, for 4 years, and I've enjoyed it. It's been a wonderful job. I learned a lot. I think it's been relatively fulfilling as far as teaching goes. Uh, there are aspects of it that I wish were better, but overall, the people have been great. The students have been pretty good. I've really enjoyed my time there. But I put 4 years in. It's time. Yeah, I know, right? 4 years, time flies. It's time to move on. So I've accepted a new position. I'll be starting it in the fall. This summer will be interesting to see how visas go because I will be transferring my work permit and my residence permit to the new school. There's always, and I have plenty of people who are helping me with this process at both schools who will be um, uh, processing this because it is a change. And every time you change, there's always changes in the rules every year. So we'll be on top of it. We're going to start the process pretty soon, and so I'm ready to go in the fall. Billy asks, "What type of school will you move to?" It's another university, a little bit higher level university. I'll be teaching mainly the English majors, and but the big thing, it's still here in Zhongshan. But the big thing about it is that it's in the mountains. You know, my first school that I worked at a training center when I first came to Zhongshan, and that was in an kind of an industrial part of the town. Training center was in a mall. Great introduction to the country, and then this next school was in a factory area of Zhongshan. Um, which had its benefits, to be honest with you, because I really like manufacturing. I was able to make some good content for this channel as a result of some of the people that I met while I was out there. And this next one will be in the mountains. There will be an apartment on the campus that I plan. It's not a big one; it's a small apartment, smaller than the one I have now. But it will. I'll still keep this studio downtown, of course. Um, but being in the mountains, it's a stone's throw from a bunch of hiking trails that I absolutely love. It's there. There's no Starbucks. There's no McDonald's out there. There's none of that. It's pretty rural. The location of this school, but it's a provincial level school, and it's going to be a new challenge in my career, but also where I want to go in my teaching career. And the idea that I wake up with birds chirping in the mountains is pretty awesome. So that's what I'll be doing. So I hope you all are fine and well. Let's give you some photos of some of the things that I have been able to do over the last couple of weeks. First thing I'll share with you is this. I got my new camera. Yep, I bought it. Okay, so I'll share it with you. It is a used camera. And yeah, I went to I found a Sony store here. So it's an A7 III used. Okay. And I do have this cheap lens to go with it here. It's not a great lens. It's just basically a set lens. Okay. But this camera is going to be pretty freaking awesome. I've already filmed a bunch of things with it. And I got the mics to go with it from DJI. I've already used it many times. I've been practicing taking still photography with it, and I'm starting to get pretty good with using this. It's been awesome. I'm happy that I'm able to upgrade it. It was very hard to find a Sony camera with an English menu. Most of them, the one that I did want was actually nicer than this and a little cheaper, but it only had the Chinese menu, which is fine. But I really, really, especially with menus that are so in depth as these cameras can be, it's a little used. It's got a little ding on it right there, but works fantastic. I'm super, super stoked with it. And you'll be able to see this in action in my channel in the very next video, actually, that I'm editing right now. So super, super cool. New toys. Okay. Let me share with you what else I got. Okay, so what's next in line here? All right, so the first one that I did, video that I started filming with the new camera is this one. I have this friend of mine. That's him there on the left. That's his name is Mark. And Mark has been in China for a long time. Is actually a pretty well versed in Chinese wines. So we decided, hey, let's get together and introduce Chinese wines. And I don't know much about Chinese wines. When I go to the store here, I'm usually buying, California wines or French wines and stuff. And the Chinese wines are kind of don't know anything about. So we took this opportunity to learn about it and make a video about it. This is the one I'm editing now. This is a tough edit. All right, so here we have we did like a little wine tasting where he would tell us about the wines, and we went from very cheap to very not expensive but excellent wine. I mean, the wines that we tried here were very, very good. I'm a wine drinker. I come from Southern California. I come from spent many, many years in the Temecula wine valley and driving up to the Central Coast, as well as my grandfather living in not in Napa Valley or Sonoma Valley, but near it in Santa Rosa. And we would just go wine tasting all the time. It was something that we loved to do. So setting up a little wine tasting adventure here in Zhongshan and in filming it was fantastic. And again, I am editing this right now, and it should be coming out in my channel very, very shortly. So you can learn about Chinese wine. I don't know if any of you are interested in this. I doubt it will get very many views, but I enjoy making content that I want to make. So hopefully that comes out in the video. As far as car video goes, I'm trying to get this one made. This is the GWM Power pickup truck. This is a base model, and it is costs less than $20,000 for this. I think this is the interior. I got a shot of it here. Yeah, that's the interior of it. This one has the automatic. You can get them with a stick shift too. And I'm currently trying to hook up a filming of this vehicle. I know they're very popular in other markets, and I've elected to hold on to my Havel for at least another summer. Towards the end of the summer, maybe I'll look into purchasing a newer vehicle. Probably not a new one, probably another secondhand. But my Havel's still running great. Still looks pretty good. I really see no reason to get rid of it yet, but I do know it's getting high in the miles. So it will. I'll need to replace it within the next year. And this power on the used market is actually pretty cheap. So I'm very excited to make a video about this. The Havel guys here in town, they're really cool guys, but they're a little reluctant for letting me go on the lot and film. So they're I'm still working on them. So give me a little more time on that. Here's the picture of the camera, fully rigged out. I need to find a couple of other attachments for it to go with my tripod, but it's remarkably smooth. I've filmed 2 vlogs on it. One will be a lighting showroom that I did for a good friend of mine in Gujin. Um, that's going to be pretty awesome. Again, what's keeping me busy? I'll tell you guys this. What's keeping me busy right now is I am in the process of putting Chinese subtitles on a lot of my videos, and this is taking a lot of time. It's been great. I've got 3 lovely people who are helping me with this as we fan out. We do 3 different projects per week, and it's a lot of time on my part to get them all situated, do the English and everything, and then they send it to them. They do the Chinese, and we work together. In fact, my Chinese teacher is one of the people helping me with this, so it has actually been really good for my Chinese study as well. But I have launched a Bilibili account and some other accounts in Chinese uh, social media, and I'm uploading some of these with Chinese subtitles. If you watched my last video, which was, I think it was the hamburger one, you saw the Chinese subtitles. So this is an additional layer of not only investment into the production of the videos, but also in time, because it does take a little bit more time to put these together. So I appreciate your guys' patience, but I think ultimately it will be better to expand my audience, not just here in China, but abroad as well. So you're going to start to see Chinese subtitles. Again, I'm doing it all myself. The Li Xiang videos that I did were all done completely by me. And the guys at Li Xiang, they're freaking awesome guys. They were like, "Hey, let's help you. Let me help you with the Chinese subtitles. We can do it for you." And I said, "No, no, no. These are my videos. I finance everything. I produce everything myself. Uh, I don't do commercials. I don't do sponsored videos. This is my baby." And so they kind of pushed me in that direction, and I'm very happy that they did. So it's been wonderful experience learning how to do this, but man, is it time consuming. And so far on Bilibili, William asks, is Chinese or English version? It's the Chinese version of Bilibili. And so far, the response on Bilibili and on Weixin has been pretty good, and I'm happy with the response. So I'm going to continue to do it mostly for these big videos that I've done in the past with hotels and cars and stuff like that. The car videos do much, much better than any of the videos I do. So, yeah, that's that's the way it is. Okay. Raymond says, "Congrats on the new job." Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And Billy, thank you very much. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, end of an era. End of an era, Billy. Yeah, 4 years. Can you believe it's been 4 years? Wow. Time does fly fast. I went to there's a photographic exhibit going on right now by National Geographic that I hope to go check out this afternoon, because it's only about noon here. So, but in the same place that's being held was this, and they have these old photos of Zhongshan that I took photos of and then been sharing with them. And a lot of people, especially the locals, have really kind of like, oh my God, they've never seen these photos before. So this is the Chijiang Park. That empty lot that you see right there, that is where the uh, Sheraton Hotel currently is. So this is before the Sheraton Hotel was built. You see the Fuhua and then the Zhongshan International. And then this lot now is a very high-end apartment building right here, this lot here. But you can see the Qizheng Park has been finished. And also this footbridge across the Qizheng River has been finished. So this is a very interesting part of Zhongshan history. I think this is before the Qingzhou shopping mall was built, but before the Sheraton was built. Um, pretty cool. Pretty cool. If you know the city of Zhongshan, then you know these areas. I got some older ones here too. I think. Sorry, the quality is not very good. I took these with my phone. This is the boat harbor or the boat shipyard. Excuse me. This is now the Qizheng Park. But many people don't know that Qizheng Park used to be a shipyard, and they converted it into a park when the shipyard, and they produced a very common style of boat. And some of these elements still survive. Like all of these buildings are gone. This is all trees and parks and stuff. But this building right here, which was the dry dock, one of the dry docks, still exists, and you can see some of the steel girders. Uh, and there's a theme throughout this park that goes along with that. I can't place the year on this one based on the foreigners' clothing here. I'm thinking maybe early 80s, maybe back in the day. And no, nobody recognizes. None of my friends recognize anybody who was on this thing. William asks, what's your Bilibili link? It's the same. It's Walkabout Rojo, one word. You'll be able to find me there. Okay. All right. This is taken right above Holiday Plaza. You can see down here. This is where I think the bar closed actually, but there's a famous bar that was right here, all under construction now, and a hotel that's gone. I believe this is the archives building, and there's a university right here. Okay, so very interesting old photos. I love it. This is you can see this building no longer is there. They tore that building down and rebuilt it, and then this building's gone. It's a new shopping mall that still hasn't opened yet. This is Second People's Bridge on Fuhualu, and you can see they're building the Fuhua Hotel right here. Very, very cool. I love seeing these old photos of my city. I don't remember the year on this one, but this is it Qizheng Park near the Sunwin pedestrian road? Obviously, before the park was established around it. This is all covered. This hill is all covered with trees now. And God, what year was that? Early 1900s. This is an interesting photo. This is at my college. This is looking down from I think the 10th floor where the office is, and you can see the line. The line starts here, then wraps into the shade and up the staircase. This is the testing line. So, like I said, they're constantly testing us at the college, just out of precaution, and the lines can get long, so you kind of have to time it right. Something new. I went out to the new Qizheng town, which is currently under construction right now. Between here, the Shichi district, and Gankou, there's some empty fields there that are being developed, and it's going to be awesome. Residential, including Zhongshan's newest super tall building. They've got an OCT and entertainment complex that will be there. And this is a couple of buildings that have been completed now. There's nobody there in there, and then yet this is the sports arena that they're building out there. And I got to go out there and tour the construction site and make a little video about it. It's again I've got it. Got to get through the editing. Got to get through it. I got the couple of other videos I want to get through first, but it's coming. And what an amazing time. It's always wonderful to get access to these construction sites to kind of see the next generation of development in the city being built. And yeah, I got a tour of a brand new school that had been finished. This is a new like international school that is under construction. The kindergarten's supposed to open up in the fall, but it will have like kindergarten through senior high school, international. It's a very exciting school for teachers here. A lot of teachers want to go work there. Okay, so that's the Chijung new town. I'll give you a couple more photos of this. We were out there filming all day, all day. This is them pouring some concrete for the underground parking structure before they go vertical, and got some good shots. This is what the school will look like when it is completed. That's the international school. And then afterwards, well, I was there as the sun was going down, and so I got the opportunity to walk through some of the labor camp. And there are street vendors out there, cooking up noodles, guys drinking beer, playing cards, and stuff like that. The workers, the construction workers, and then you also have guys out there selling clothing and knickknacks and everything. And what got me is how cheap everything is. From now on, if I want to buy, a pair of exercise clothes, I'm going here to buy them, because you go to the mall, they're so expensive, right? Here you can get an exercise shirt and shorts for like 10 yuan for the shirt and the pants together. That's how cheap it is. That's pretty great. This is us just finished filming this is downtown. This is an existing thing, but that'll be coming out soon. Back to Gujin, to the Star Alliance Mall. I've done a video on this before. I was out there filming a friend of mine's lighting showroom. He wanted to take me to his factory, but I was unable to go to the factory. The factory is on the other side of the river, which technically is Jiangmen, and I can't leave the city. So we were only able to shoot the showroom. He has a brand new factory where he's making these incredible lighting products, and he was going to give me full access to it. And I couldn't go. And he's like, no, just come over for an hour. It'll be okay. No one will know. I'm like, no, you guys don't understand. I cannot leave the city. If I leave the city, it's like bad news for me. So as a teacher, they won't let teachers leave the city. And I'm stuck here. So even though there's no COVID, there is zero COVID in my city, I am still forbidden from traveling. Yes, it's a problem. Billy asks, how often are you being tested? I'm being tested at least once a week. It's strange. Like 1 week, they want me to get tested every 48 hours. And the next week, they're like, don't worry about it. And then now lately it's been like, okay, about once a week. On average, it's about once a week I'm getting tested. And I can do it at the college, but you saw that long line. And when you do it at the college, because it's a remote site, you never know when the results are going to come down to your QR code. So it's frustrating in that sense. So I tried to elect to go to the local hospital, which is just a couple blocks from me, and get the test there. And it's within 2 or 3 hours I get the result, and there's almost no line if you go at the right times. So I've kind of made it part of my everyday life now. Daytime, I saw the message about new school, went to start to see. You look depressed, but now more chipper going through your pics. COVID crap will pass like everything does. A bit of time. Yes, it will. And Andrea, I appreciate that message because you have to constantly remind yourself that this is all temporary. We've been reminding ourselves that this is temporary for the last couple of years now. I mean, it's been 3 years since I've been home to see my family. And I understand people's frustrations with this, and I understand why people are wanting to leave China. And yes, I am frustrated that I cannot leave my city because I've had to cancel so many different things, so many different plans and projects. But at the same time, it's all part of the adventure, and that's what you have to keep reminding yourself. Um, this won't be forever. It's a snapshot of my life, and it'll be a story to tell when I'm an old man sitting at the bar. Uh, as you can see, I'm still getting to do neat things within the city. Mona came with her new contraption. It's like a dry fryer, I guess, and made some incredible foods. So we're just trying out new foods, cooking here. Um, friend of mine took this picture of me, caught me with my little e-cigarette while camping. He said it was a really cool picture. Yeah, it looks pretty cool how he got the smoke in there. His camera's much better than mine. This is the testing line at the local hospital right down the street from me. So it's pretty straightforward. Show your health codes, your itinerary code. You sign up. Of course, I've already signed up many times, so I already have all the thing. I just press a button on the app, and then it shows a QR code, and I go, "Doo-doo," and it's free because I'm a teacher. It's free for me. I'm not sure if other people are required to pay. I know at the other hospital in Torch, I'm required to pay, and it's like 30 RMB or something like that. But here it's free because I have a teacher QR code, I guess. So I don't have to pay for it. And it takes maybe, it's 5-10 minute walk, stand in line for 5-10 minutes, 5-10 minutes back. And so it's actually not so bad. It used to be very inconvenient to go get a test done, just a test done. Waiting in lines, filling out paperwork, filling out the app, paying, another line to pay, another line to get tests. It was they've been doing it for so long now that it feel like that they've got it down. And you can see these are all like temporary. They are moving, and I've seen them building more permanent testing structures at outside of clinics, outside of hospitals and other various places, not just in Zhongshan, but other cities. So this is going to be with us for quite a while, and we're just going to have to get used to it. I tell you this though, when you get your test results back on your phone, there's like this huge sigh of relief, like, oh my God, I can go anywhere and do anything now. But once you start getting to like 48 hours, you start going, oh crap. And now I got to go schedule another test because I might want to go for a run in the park tomorrow and they're not going to let me come in because I don't have a 48-hour test. So there is a little anxiety and a little bit of relief once that 24-hour notice comes onto your QR code. It feels pretty good. Ah. Billy, Andrea says, I'm in Shanghai, remember? And no home for me either. It is what it is. Yeah. I you guys know what's going on in Shanghai. Andrea, you know what's going on there. I invite you to go watch Snarky Guy's video he posted yesterday. It was fantastic. It's one of his best videos he ever did. And he explains his opinion about it. And I know a lot of people share those opinions. So if you want to know what's going on there, there's a huge community of content creators in Shanghai who are making this. You can find it and you can see exactly what's going on there. It's a different experience here in Guangdong and in my city. So I can only tell you what's going on in my city. Billy says, I came to see my family and got stuck in the US. First, the flight cancellations, then my residence permit. And I am getting a new one. It was supposed to be a 2-month trip, but will end up as 7. Billy, are you still in the States right now? You didn't get to come back to Zhongshan? See, this is what I'm scared of. I wanted to go home this summer to see my family, and I was willing to do the quarantining and all the paperwork as soon as the new residence permit was in my passport, right? And I was going to get the new residence permit this summer so that I can go home and I would have no issues. But there are so many new rules that go along with traveling back and forth between the states. They have a new blue code that you're supposed to get. No longer can you get a green code. The testing is now longer 48 hours. It's 24 hours before your flight. So timing of all of that, getting the results of your testing, getting that to the consulate, getting your blue code all before you get on the flight, then the flight itself and the quarantining, not to mention the cost. The price is outrageous for flights to and from the States. it just makes it completely impossible for me. I mean, I could go home tomorrow. Nothing stopping me from leaving and going home to see my family tomorrow. The problem is my life is here coming back. As you see, a 2-month trip, but will end up being as a 7-month trip. And that's if you can come back in the first place. Now, Billy, I know your situation, so you're able to come back, but I don't have the same situation you have. The chances of me, if I was in your position of getting back, are next to nothing. So it's unfortunate, and I'm just hoping that there are better paths for movement on the horizon. I don't see that happening anytime soon. At least this summer, I'll be in China. I'll probably be here through Christmas, and we'll see about next summer. But for the foreseeable future, nothing's going to change. It's unfortunate. It was difficult to get a consulate to agree to give me a visa, but they finally let me apply. They finally let you apply. Oh man, you're in that's the LA consulate, right? Yeah, that LA consulate can be a little chaotic at times. I remember it. Hmm. Well, well, good luck, buddy. Yeah, he says he's still in the States. Your wife is back in Zhongshan, but just got back. So your wife got back, but you have to stay longer to get your visa. I'm sorry to hear that, brother. I hope you get back, and I hope you get back safely. And when you come back, you still have to go through the quarantine process. How much were the plane tickets? As I'm curious. Oh, you're in the San Francisco consulate. Oh, okay. All right. So you're up north. I don't know that one, but I'm curious what the plane tickets cost. Please, because when I looked it up, it was 90,000 yuan for a round trip ticket in June to go from Guangzhou to LA, and that's unreal. That's unreal. If you don't know, that's almost $15,000. Andrea says Shanghai is not a big deal. Positives: people are cooking fresh food and no takeout. I have lived here 17 years and have never seen people come together like I have now. I'm impressed. That is one thing I have heard, and even in the quarantine centers, people have been talking about how they've built like little communities within the quarantine centers, and the communities are coming by. But also, I know that everyone's experience there is different, and some people have great experiences like you're saying here, and I think that those experiences um, need to be put out there so that you don't just get one narrative of the situation there, and then other people have a much different experience. And it also comes with your attitude. I mean, Andre, you sound like you have a great attitude, and I think that's awesome, and I'm happy to see that. Some people don't have as good an attitude as you, and so it sounds like the world is coming to an end. Um, and then you have people who have their good days and they have their bad days. Their bad days where they're literally running out of food, but they're good days where the local community will come together and share their food with them. So it's tough times for a lot of people there, but they're getting through it. Alex and Andy do a show every day. Shanghai Daily Shine. We chat. I think. Yeah, I know Andy. I've met Andy. He's a great guy, and I like the work that he's doing, giving the daily updates. And again, he's expressing what his experience is, and then there are other people there that are expressing what their experiences are, and there are differences. There are vast differences. So to get a whole idea of what's going on, you need to get it from all perspectives. And I feel like people have been doing a good job of not letting the pendulum swing too far from one extreme to the other. They're getting a general overall view, and hopefully, if you watch my videos or listen to me now, you can get an overall view of what's happening in my part of the world, my part of the country, which, to be honest, is quite nice. There's a ton of traffic out there right now because it's a holiday, coming here to eat in restaurants and see a movie and spend time with family. The parks are all full. Going hiking everyone's going hiking in Wuguishan right now. We drove by the local swimming pool, thinking maybe we'd go for a swim, and it was just packed with people. But at the same time, I'm also under travel restrictions just because I'm a teacher. So I cannot leave the city. So there are strange kind of what's the word, dualities going on, even in a city where there is zero COVID. Uh, in Shanghai, I know some districts have different rules. You can go out, walk around, but then no restaurants are open, I guess. Again, I'm not there, so I don't know. But I think it's great to uh, to see all the different aspects of going on throughout the country because it is. Everyone wants to say what's going on in the country, and I'm like, no, 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 no. What's going on in this part of a city in the country is different than what might be going on someplace else. So people, I think, need to understand that. Stop, stop. I just came. Did you get a new job in another country, Paul? No, I did not. No, I'm staying. I did get a new job. I'll be starting in the fall, different school. Uh, I love the school I'm at now. They're they're sad that I'll be leaving, but this is a new opportunity. I've been there for 4 years. It's time to move on to it's another university here in the same city. The transition should be very smooth, and everyone seems to be very supportive of the transition. I'll tell you guys more about that in the fall as I move out there and check it out. Yeah, here it is. Look, it cost me 30,000 yuan. That's for one way too, right? Because you have to fly through Korea, I think, right, Billy? 30,000 yuan. That's $5,000. It was for a nice flight from Guangzhou to LA was about 5 or 6,000 yuan pre-COVID. Um, yeah, money. Yeah, yeah, that might be true. There's also a lot of emotions involved. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but at the same time, I'm sure you're getting quality time with the family there. So, yes. Everything is getting more expensive, maybe next year more expensive. We'll see. Again, nobody really knows, man. It's I'm hoping that I'm hoping that things will open up, and if they open up, more flights will open up, and because there's so few flights, and the flights themselves cannot be at 100% capacity, and they have to go different stops with clearing different flight crews, and so these are why the costs are so high. It's prohibitive right now. Congrats on the new job. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Yep. Yep. We all know about that. One way. Yeah. Okay. A couple more photos here. I have terrible luck. In the last month, I've gotten 3 flat tires, and if you follow my channel, you know this happens to me all the time. I can't tell you how many flat tires I had. In fact, just a couple months ago, I had, like, 2 nails in my tire, and they were so bad they couldn't be repaired, so I had to get new tires, and I'm still getting I mean, it happens to me once a week. It's cheap, it's, less than $5 to get a patch, but it's annoying when you get nails. This one, I had 2 small nails in my tire, and it was a slow leak. Ah, it's all these construction sites that I'm driving around. I just have bad luck. What's this one? Some bread that we cooked. This is that new, contraption that Mona got, a dry fryer, just trying to out different and, of course, me trying to get back into shape, I guess. Got a lot of work to do before I get back in one of the things I wanna do, do because I will be keeping this studio here in downtown Shachi because it's so convenient, it's wonderful, it's small, it's cheap, doesn't cost anything. So the new apartment at the college, I thought about turning into like a gym, like a home gym, like a do some yoga, some free weights, and of course the hiking and running trails are literally right across the street and I'm in the mountains. So it's going to be super convenient after I teach my classes to spend an afternoon exercising. And I want to create an environment down there that is just for that and being healthy. I'm getting to an age now where it needs to be much more of a, a priority in my life. Again, I'm the fattest and weigh the most now than I have ever in my life. Okay. Couple more things here. Let's take a look at this one. We started HSK 3, some friends of mine, and things are going well. My Chinese is getting better. Notably, my reading is getting much better. I'm actually uh, very excited when I'm able to read something. And I want to say thank you to my tutor. We've been doing this for a year now, and we've started HSK 3 a couple weeks ago, and we're moving quickly through it. And hope my our goal is to finish HSK 3 and then 4 and 5. But I'm super stoked on how quickly I've been able to improve my Chinese. My first couple of years here, trying apps, trying partnerships, trying friends to help me with this, didn't work. Sitting down at a desk with a tutor and a couple of other students to learn through a book, learn this series step by step is the best way. And it has been paying off. So, more food porn. This is at a restaurant by a friend of mine. It'll be in an upcoming video as well. Just some delicious food. I mean, it's hard to lose weight when you're in a city that has such great food. Billy says, quality time. Yes, I haven't seen them in 2 years. I used to come back at least twice a year. Twice a year. I would go back once a year, but it's been 3. The great news about it, though, is those of us who do live in other parts of the world, our families and friends back home seem to be very supportive. So I have announced to my family that I'm staying in China with the new gig, and I won't be coming home this summer, and they are very understanding of it and very supportive of it. And it makes the decision and the sacrifice that you make by not seeing them much easier to swallow when your family is so supportive on the other side of the world. They're understanding, and I want to thank my family for doing that for me. I was nervous when I called my family and I said, "Look, I'm not coming home this summer. I can't. By the way, I'll be staying in the country longer because I have this new opportunity, this new gig, and things are going really well for me, and I'm very happy in this country living here. It's an exciting place to be." And I was expecting a sigh. I was expecting some kind of veiled disapproval, but no, they were right immediately. No, you're doing the right thing. We're very supportive of this decision. And that made a huge difference. It makes it so that you can get through times like this. Thanks very much, Andre. I appreciate it. Good luck, buddy. Uh, The good old Havel is still hanging in there. Yes, it is. It's running like a champ. I have no issues with it other than the fact that I get a nail in my tire constantly. But no, it runs great. I'm very happy with it. The AC is ice cold. I can still watch, movies. I can the clutch is great. It's a fantastic car. I almost got 150,000 kilometers on it now. And although I am looking to replace it within the next year, I honestly don't feel like I need to. I mean, it's a wonderful car. The size is perfect for this part of China. I can park it almost anywhere, and yet I can still fit all of my gear, my camping gear in the back, and it's a great car. It really is. But I do want to be. I have a car fund that I keep off to the side to uh, to buy a new secondhand car. Which one yet? I haven't decided yet, but I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. It'll be later in the fall after the summer. So I'm gonna have one more summer of fun with the Havel. Congrats on starting H3. Are you going to take the test when you? Yes, our plan is to take the test. COVID, because you have to go to Guangzhou to take the test, but our plan is to sit for the HSK3 test, and then we'll decide if we're going to continue with HSK 4 and 5. HSK 3, as our understanding is HSK 3 is really the sweet spot. But I've been having so much fun, and it's been so practical and useful what I've been able to apply to my everyday life from these classes that I want to continue. And Billy, I know your Chinese is excellent, and you know our teacher, and there's always improvement, especially if you're going to make a life here. I do hope to continue beyond three. Surprisingly, my family and I, we don't do video calls. Uh, Jerky, you can do it, I guess, but they see me on this channel. They participate in the live streams. They comment. We chat through Facebook. I'm in constant contact with them. I don't call them enough, but it was Easter recently, and we had a nice chat. I do need to call my sisters. All right. Went back out to the Xinjiang link. This video came out just yesterday. It'll come out on my channel in a couple weeks. But it's on my Zhongshan. Got on a boat, went back out to see the new bridge, how it's going. This is the Zhongshan Bridge. As you can see, the girders are starting to get into place a little bit. This is the smaller of the two bridges on the link between Zhongshan and Shenzhen. Last time I was out here, they were still topping off the pillars. Now they've got some of the road deck put into place here. This is my buddy Jack's camera, and he was filming on this. This is the first time using a lot of these new gadgets, excluding that giant lens. We didn't take the gimbal out there because we were up on top of this gigantic girder. This is the Lingding Bridge. This is the largest steel girder sea bridge in the world, and suspension bridge in the world. And the towers are 270 meters high, about a 90-story office building. And we went up there and filmed the workers for Labor Day and doing a story about the workers who work on these projects. And it was so windy up there. It was a hot day, but the wind off that sea was actually quite pleasant. But I got horribly sunburned, even though I put sunscreen all over me. It was just very, very. And this catwalk, you can see it's very wide. It's about 4 meters wide, and it's 3,000 meters long from anchor to anchor. And when I started climbing down here, I got another picture here. Check this out. So I started walking down that catwalk towards the bottom, thinking, oh, it's really hard to get a sense of the scale of how big this is. Then I had to climb back up, and I'm climbing essentially 60-story office building, you know, one at a time. And by the time I got back up to the top, I was exhausted. Now, these workers do that every day, walking down that catwalk. So these guys are super, super fit. This is a drone shot of us and the crew at the very, very top. This steel structure here is temporary. It will be removed when the bridge is finished. They are finishing the rollers where the steel cables go up and over the tower and go down to both sides. And so this is the crane here. And there is an elevator that takes you up there. Beautiful sight. This is looking east this is the west tower of the Lingding Bridge, looking east towards Shenzhen. If you look closely, you can see Boa Airport and the West Island, which is where I was the last time I was out there. Incredible experience, once in a lifetime. They told me that this catwalk would only be only erected for about 3 months while they string these lines, and then the catwalk will be disassembled. And I was the only foreigner allowed up there, and I am the only foreigner that's scheduled to go up onto the catwalk. It's hugely unprecedented that they gave me access to this and to film it. And again, the video is out on my Zhongshan. It'll be out on Chinese social media. It's out right now, but they're continuing to post it on other media platforms. And then I have my vlog that will be coming out in a couple of weeks of my experience going out here and doing this, and that will be shared on this channel. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. Good luck to you, Billy. Take care, man. Hope you get back to Zhongshan soon, dude. And great shot. This is taken from my buddy's drone. My drone won't go this high. It's that high. So he's got a much nicer, more advanced drone. Um, and this is on top. I'm at about almost 300 meters at this part. This is the very, very top. I had to climb up there through the steel girders to get to this point. And in the background, that is the Zhongshan Bridge. I mean, there's two bridges on this crossing, Lingdingyang and Zhongshan, and with the Cuiheng district in the back. Um, and it looks like it's very close. It's not. This entire crossing is approximately 24 kilometers. And so, again, when you're out there and you're on the ocean and you're in the middle of the ocean, it looks like it's very close. It's not. I'm about 16 kilometers from that shore in this picture, from the shores of Cuiheng. That's how far it is. But again, it's really hard to get a sense of the scale of how big this thing is in these photos until you're sitting there and looking down at this giant ocean tanker and these container ships going underneath the bridge below you. You have no idea how big it really is. An amazing experience, incredible experience. And it just reminded me of these, those old photos that you would see of people who would, they would take photos of like the Golden Gate Bridge or the Brooklyn Bridge when it was being built out there, and then you get to go out there and take a photo of this bridge when it's happening. So when I'm an old man, when I'm in my 80s and 90s, and people are driving across this bridge, I can show them a photo of me standing right there as it was being built. So there are perks to being a vlogger. All you have to do is ask, and sometimes they say yes. Yeah, and the other photo here, you can see that right there, that little boat right there. That is a giant. I don't know if it's an oil tanker, but it's some kind of tanker. But that's a giant ship, and just give you an idea of how big this thing is. It's the largest steel girder suspension sea bridge in the world. And it's in my backyard. And yes, I was allowed to do this because it's technically still in Zhongshan. I did not go to Shenzhen on the other side of the bay. So I stuck within my yeah. Snarky's on. Thank you, Snarky. If you guys don't know, I said it once before. You want to know what's going on in Shanghai, go watch Snarky Guy's video he posted yesterday. Snarky, again, I agree. I think it's one of your best works. And I know it's difficult to make videos in your situation right now, but I appreciate your wit and humor when dealing with such important issues like you are. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And that's that was why we went out there. We were actually doing a story about the workers on this bridge. Do I have a photo of the work? Maybe. Yeah, so we were actually doing a story about the workers because it's Labor Day and how they live and train. And so we went out there and they live out there. These guys all live on the these workers, they live out there on the platforms themselves in these like containers, these shipping containers that are converted into like barracks. And I went out there, I ate with them, I had lunch with they great food. I mean, I ate really, really well. They have limited entertainment out there. There's like a health clinic. There's a little gym. They play ping pong. They watch movies. They do a little karaoke. Um, they've got a full size basketball court, and I got to play basketball with them for a little bit, which I'm totally out of shape, but I think I held my own pretty well against these guys. But yeah, I had a lot of fun. But they're there to work. They're there. They wake up at 5:40 in the morning, and they assemble at 6:20. That is the sun's coming up, and they get up there. They go to work, and they work all day. And their work that they do is not easy. I mean, they are they've got power tools and everything, but these guys are really, really fit carrying big steel bands lifting things up in the air, steel infrastructure everywhere, welding, cutting. It's very impressive the work that they do. I mean, to build something like this on top of a giant pillar in the middle of the ocean is blows your mind. And they have all the tools they need. They've got ferry boats that bring them back and forth to the mainland and stuff. Um, and they're fed very well. The food, I'll tell you again, the food was excellent. Yeah, yeah. Oh, snarky. You're so snarky. Okay. Yeah, well, on their off day, they will play basketball. A couple of guys, when they came down and, "Hey, let's play some basketball," they were really too tired. But a couple of the other guys, the younger guys, were like, "No, yeah, we're gonna," and they were good. And yeah, they had plenty of energy to play basketball at the end of the day. So, I think ping pong is actually something they like to do a little bit more. It gets hot out there in the summer. Hey, they work hard. I give it up to them. Again, the story was the workers because it's Labor Day holiday, so we wanted to do a story about the workers, their training, their living conditions, and I honestly think it's probably the best video I've ever made with this crew, and I'm very, very happy. The director, the producer, the cameraman, the editor, all these guys, they did their best work on this. And if you live in China, you'll be able to see it. If you're my friend on WeChat, you'll be able to see it. Uh, Again, it will be coming out internationally within the next week, and then I am producing my own vlog that I did while I was out there for my channel, this channel, and my Bilibili account. So you're that high up, you can feel the sway of the bridge. No. When you're on the catwalk does sway a little bit in the wind, and you can feel that because it's just suspended in the air across between those two. It's over a kilometer long. It's like 1.6 kilometers, the main span of that bridge. So when you're in the center, you do feel it kind of like this. But that pillar is a giant concrete and steel rock. You don't feel anything. You do feel it's windy. And here's another thing: they had a box at the top there that was like an air conditioned resting box. So they lifted up as a small little like 40-foot, not even 40 foot, like a 20-foot shipping container that they put on top of the pylon, and it's just there, and it's shaded, and they got air conditioning and ice cream for the workers. And so when they get hot or tired, they go rest inside this rest box, and it was super cool. So when you're done climbing that catwalk, which again is like climbing a 60-story building from the bottom to the top, and they do that a couple times a day, you're hot, you're sweaty, and I felt it too, man. It was sunburn. Yeah, all of that. Pretty nuts. Okay, guys, I've been on for an hour. Thank you all for joining me. Give you a little update about what's going on in my life and my city. Not quite the same as the rest of the country, but you know, I have a lot of solidarity for the guys that are dealing with what they're dealing in the northern part of the country. Again, go check out Snarky's videos about his experience in Shanghai, and try to stay positive. We try to go about our lives and just remember and constantly remind ourselves that every day this is our adventure. It sucks sometimes, it's frustrating sometimes, and I do feel that often, but I'm always reminding myself it's all part of the adventure. So, with all that being said, I want to thank you all for joining me, and we'll see you in the next one. Oh, by the way, before we go, I have tell you about the videos coming out. I got the wine tasting video coming out. After that, I've got a lighting showroom on the newest lights in Gujen. More food videos, of course. No hotel videos because I haven't been traveling. Chongqing Auto Show is June 1st. I hope to attend. I hope to be able to get to go to Chongqing at least. That's coming up in a month. Qizhong Newtown. Of course, the bridge video will be coming out. My vlog of that, and many, many others. Until then, I hope you guys are safe and happy. We'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye.